What's going on, guys? Mr. Tasty number 9. How you guys doing? And happy Halloween. I said I was gonna do another review, I think in my last video, that was gonna be a challenge. I decided to push that video back until another month because I really wanted to get a Halloweenish review out to you guys as soon as possible. So happy Halloween for you guys. You like my new outfit? I rocking the Albert Einstein. I was gonna do like Rick and Morty, but I decided I don't think I can pull that off because I don't have a lab coat. So this is just incidental. So today my review, I wanted to do something similar to like a top 10. I did the ice cream thing. I did my top 3 favorite ice cream bars. So today for you guys, I wanted to do my top 10 Halloween candy bars. So let's just kick it off right now. Boom!
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Okay, so let's just get into it right away. I'm gonna try to make this as quickly as possible, so because I have lots to do today. Because the next thing you know, it's gonna be dark out and kids are gonna come and want candy. So let's just get into it. So I'm gonna start from. This isn't a comprehensive list. This is more or less my list that I would like to see in my Halloween bag when I was a kid. So the first up, we're gonna go with the Milky Way. Milky Way is one of those candy bars that's not a whole lot to it. It's very simple. You know, I got into it a little bit because I was hungry. Don't blame me. There's chocolate into it, there's nougat, and this is my printer. There's chocolate, there's nougat, and then there's caramel. So Milky Way is one of those simpler candy bars that you would see in your Halloween bag. So I like it a lot. It's not really my favorite, but you know, if I had it, I would eat it. And a little bit about Milky Way. It was invented by the Mars Company, I think 1923. So it is one of the older candy bars in the lineup that I have here. And what's interesting about this, if you look online, you can uncover a lot of the other countries that have this candy bar. And there's a lot of flavors that are associated with it. You can get banana, you can get mango, you can get strawberry. So it's pretty interesting to see other countries, celebrating our candy fetish here in the States with other flavors that, represent their geographical location. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So 240 calories, thanks a lot, Mars, for putting the calories on this candy bar, because you know I'm going to eat it. Thank you for reminding me how fat I am. So right away, it's really chewy. Chocolatey, of course. I'm eating it and reading like the health description on the back here. So I had 240 calories, 9 grams of fat, 31 sugars, and 75 grams of sodium. It was not that bad. Everything in moderation, and I took a small little bite, so I still have a lot left. So go out and try Milky Way, or hopefully you get it in your Halloween bag. Next up on our list is one of the candy bars that I think has gone out of popularity with the public. You will see this in Halloween bags tonight. You will see this in grocery stores, and that is the 100 grand. The reason why I have it in this size is because I couldn't find the regular size candy bar. So I bought one of those, Halloween bags that have a bunch of candy in it. So you can just give it away randomly. I got the variety pack. This is made by Nestle, one of the powerhouse companies on our list, including Mars and another one that I'll name soon. Nestle, I think up until 100 grand was purchased by Nestle in 1966. It was actually called the $100,000 bar up until the mid-1980s, which is pretty interesting because they decided to rebrand it and they gained popularity. Next thing you know, it's a 100 grand bar. So it is really good. It's one of the simpler items on the list too. Let's get into it. Oh. Okay. So it's one of those candy bars that have crispy things in it. It's like chocolate, caramel, and like Rice Krispie treat. So it's almost like a Milky Way meets a Rice Krispie treat, but without the nougat. So I like how these candy bars, choked, take on kind of different identities based upon the kind of ingredients that you add and then the levels of flavor. So 100 gram, hopefully you get that in your Halloween bag. Number 8. Okay, so number 8 on our list is a candy bar that has, it's been available, but I don't really see a whole lot of people eating it. When you talk about candy bars, this isn't really a discussion. I do remember this candy bar having a very unique marketing campaign back when I first saw it when I was a little kid, and that is the Whatchamacallit. The Whatchamacallit is again, it's owned by Hershey's. One of the younger candy bars on the list. This is a king size, by the way, and yes, I did get into it, but you can see how big it is. It normally isn't this size. It's normally a lot smaller. They had a famous commercial out, I think, in the late 1980s to early 1990s. So I'll play that right now.
Whatever it is, whatever it was, chocolatey chocolate. Whatchamacallit? How's it go? Wowz'em do, sugary caramel. Whatchamacallit? Doohickey's, you know what I mean. Crunchy, do that, skidamarie, more than a mouthful. It's whatchamacallit.
Pretty interesting, you know, if you're a little kid and you watch that commercial, it's like, I gotta have that candy bar. So they did do a pretty good job on their marketing campaign, getting this out. Like I said, it was owned by Hershey's, and I think they first introduced it in the late 1970s. So it's been around for a while. It is one of the more lighter candy bars. It's not as heavy, doesn't have a lot of caramel in it, doesn't have nougat. Actually, it does have caramel, I lied. It's more or less a candy bar that's designed to make you think it has a lot of ingredients in it. Okay. So right away, as you can see it, I don't know if my autofocus is on, but it's like a Rice Krispie kind of thing with peanut butter in there, caramel, and then chocolate. So that's the candy bar, Whatchamacallit. I think they also came out in the late 1990s or early 2000s with a candy bar very similar to this. They attempted to rebrand it, called the Thingamajig. I don't have it with me. I didn't think about it up until like right now. So go ahead and check that out. See if you like this candy bar. It's one of the more interesting candy bars of the list, but it is really, really tasty because if you're a big peanut butter fan, then this obviously suits you. Okay, number 7 on our list needs no introduction at all. Everybody and their mother has had this treat before, and it's very famous in other countries. That is the Kit Kat bar. The Kit Kat bar is one of those powerhouse candy bars that you're definitely going to see in your Halloween bag this Halloween, and they also come in. Somewhere. Never mind, I lost it. I lost it completely. I have like a smaller version of this. Anyways, so the Kit Kat is owned by Nestle, and it first came out in 1935. It was actually this is the first candy bar on the list it was invented in the UK. Gotta give them credit. And they're famous for that Kit Kat jingle. You know, give me a break. I'm not gonna sing it, but you get it.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me a break, give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break, give me a break. Break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. You can keep it to yourself, but it wouldn't be fair.
So they had a good marketing campaign for Kit Kat. What I said earlier about this being very popular in other countries, I think Japan really took off this concept of wafer thin cookies with chocolate. There's a few other varieties of Kit Kats out there. They're not called Kit Kats, but it's kind of the same thing. You know, those wafer cookies that are wrapped in chocolate. You have strawberry, you have vanilla. I think in Japan, they actually invented, I want to say 15 to 30 different flavors. I swear to God, this is accurate. If you go on Wikipedia and go on Kit Kat and then go down to countries of origin where this is sold, and go to Japan. Japan has like green tea, strawberry, cherry blossom, and a lot of other flavors. Wasabi, I think, is one of them. Don't quote me on that, but I just think that way. And I enjoy this candy bar a lot. I think it's a lot lighter than the Whatchamacallit. So I think that's why people prefer this as a snack rather than like a traditional candy bar. Ugh. But I will eat it. It's all melted. It was sitting in a bag in my closet, trying to keep it cool. So it's just a wafer thin cookie covered in milk chocolate. Very simple. I'm kind of a purist when it comes to ingredients. I don't know what it is, but I think the more stuff you add to something, it kind of muddles the flavors. So the engineers behind these candy bars have to be very careful about what they create. Of course, each generation has their flavor complexes. In my generation, I think the simpler is the better. You just chocolate speaks for itself. I know a lot of people watching will go, yeah, chocolate, that's all you need to say, just chocolate. So, very good. Very, very good. I gotta say, forgot my napkin and water, as I do in every single video I make. Because I don't come prepared, I just like to shoot raw. Next up on the list, we have number 6. Again, a powerhouse candy that needs no introduction. That is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. What can I say about Reese's? A lot of people either they love it or they hate it. It's one of the two. It's one of the most extreme candy bars because you really have to like peanut butter in order to enjoy this properly. Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, again by the Hershey Company, in 1928, which is interesting. Interesting year for candy bars. It's in the 1920s and 1930s. You see, back in the day when they made something, they made it correct the first time. They don't just, it's not like a fad like things are today. Those were the days. I wasn't alive by then, but. So it comes in a little butter cup. A lot of these candies, going back a little bit, they come in different varieties. I think the Milky Way, number 10 on our list, has been in a few different snacks over the years, as well as this. The Reese's Peanut Butter Cup has been in I have ice cream flavors. I think they had a peanut butter flavored version of this. Different candy bars. Reese's Peanut Butter Cup, the mini ones, the little tiny ones you can just pop in your mouth. The big one, I think you can see that. It's a little bit larger. The actual Reese's Pieces, the little kind of like, they look like M&Ms you can just eat. So I'm gonna take a little bit of bite because I have a lot more to go. Well, like I said, one of those things where you're gonna hate it or love it. I don't mind it. It's not my favorite, but you really have to like peanut butter in order to like this. People that do like peanut butter, they love it. It's one of those things. It's pretty simple to eat. It comes with the cup because the chocolate on here tends to melt a lot quicker than all the other candy bars. Okay, number 5. Number 5 on our list, and one of my favorites. And that is another powerhouse, Twix. And you're going to be seeing a lot of these in your Halloween bag, I promise you. And Twix is a bit like... Twix is, I think, I'm gonna lump Twix and Kit Kat in the same category. Simply because it is kind of like a wafer cookie thing. This is just different. And Kit Kat recently has been on a big marketing campaign with the whole left and right Twix commercials that you've probably seen. So again, you have the wafer, you have the caramel, and you have the chocolate. Where have we seen that before? 100 Grand has it, but this has Crispities on it. Kit Kat, the same thing, but it has no caramel. So a lot of these candy bars, they just switch ingredients randomly, very quickly. And they call it something new, but it works because people like it. It's a bit like the Taco Bell of candy bars. They just do something different and then call it something different. But not to knock on them. You need to reinvent things that work, keep people interested, but you will see a whole lot of this. So Twix is owned by the Mars Company, another Mars brand, in 1967. Again, I have to give credit where credit is due. This was actually first invented in the UK. And again, a lot with the other brands here. Not Kit Kat, but Twix. I'm losing my mind. Twix has morphed into different brands depending on the geographical region. There was a gingerbread Twix, a white chocolate Twix for a little while, peanut butter, cookies and cream Twix. So look out for that. If you go to, I think there's companies that you can go to. You can order like a box of snacks from other countries, and you can get like a sampler. I think I've seen a few YouTube videos that actually do that. They do like reviews of food from other countries, which I think I'll get into later on. So look out for Twix. Again, this has an ice cream flavor. This has been morphed into different varieties and of course different sizes. Okay, so number 4 is Heath Bar. I'm running out of time, so I'm gonna have to make this quick video. Heath Bar is one of the more interesting candy bars on the list, simply because it took on a new identity in the early 1980s. So Heath Bar is admittedly one of my favorites because I love toffee. I love that kind of thing. It was actually invented by the Leaf Company in the early 1910s, so it is one of the older candy bars on the list. It was Hershey that I think bought out from the Leaf Company, I want to say in 1980. And then Hershey developed their other candy bar that you probably heard of called the Score Bar, which I don't have with me, simply because it's hard to find. I ate Score Bars growing up as a kid, and if I can find them, I buy them and eat them right away. But it's almost the same thing. The Score Bar is a little bit thicker. I'm sorry, a little bit taller, but they're thinner. You'll see Score Bars. I'll put like a picture up on the screen. And it is, again, going back to the concept of simplicity, one of those things where it's just easy to eat. It's also another candy bar where you have to like it or hate it. It's one of those things. Again, chocolate's a big thing. You know, I'm dropping candy all over the place. Okay. Yeah, there we go. So if you like toffee, you will love this. It's like one of those candies. It's kind of like the Reese's peanut butter cup. If you love peanut butter and chocolate, you're gonna love it. So I'm gonna put that away because it is getting kind of sweet, and I'm getting full of candy. I haven't had lunch yet, so just eating candy for my lunch. Okay. Number 3 on the list is another candy bar that has been in a few movies. I think The Great Outdoors. I think it was featured there, and it's owned by Nestle, and that is the Baby Ruth bar. In 1921, this came out, and it was originally not called Baby Ruth. It was actually called Candy Cake. Believe it or not, it's spelled with a K, both K's, candy and cake. And admittedly, this is one of the candy bars that most represents a turd. I think in a few movies they've used it as a prop. Don't quote me on it, but I'm just saying what I've seen. Bought by Nestle in 1981. A lot of the companies are bought by Nestle. Nestle is like taking over the candy bar. They have a monopoly. But it is not the lightest candy bar. It is more of the heavier variety because it is pretty hefty. I think it's one of the more like snack variety candy bars. Take a bite. Okay, yeah, it's definitely hearty. A lot going on. Okay, so like peanuts in your candy, you're gonna love this. Bye. Bursting with peanuts, rich caramel, and chewy nougat. So the nougat in this candy bar is a bit different from the other nougats. there's a different nougat variety, and that is the light and then the heavy. This is one of the heavy varieties. It's really sweet. Nestle, 280 calories, so it is one of the larger varieties, as well as the Whatchamacallit, but it is kind of heavy and dense. So you're looking for something that's gonna fill you up on your Halloween adventure tonight. Look out for this bad boy and eat it quickly. You can get instant energy. So number 2 on our list is my favorite. I have to disclose that. They didn't give me any money to say that this is my favorite. But this has been my favorite since the 5th grade, and that is Butterfinger. Why Butterfinger? Well, first Butterfinger is owned and first created by the Curtis Candy Company, I think in 1923. So it is one of those 1920s, 1930s candies, which is bought by Nestle, of course. And I believe as of 2010, it has grossed right around $600 million worth of global revenue. So that's pretty good. And they do have that famous marketing campaign, "Nobody better let a finger on my Butterfinger."
Yeah. Sorry, man, but nobody better lay a finger on my Butterfinger.
I think The Simpsons did it, and a few other commercials had it too. One of the more unique candy bars on the list. They don't really put a whole lot of emphasis on the classics like caramel or nougat or peanut butter or peanuts. So Butterfinger is, I think, in a class of its own simply because it tastes remarkably different from other candy bars. You know, you have the Twix, you have the Baby Ruth, you have the Heath, the Milky Way, the 100 gram, the Kit Kat, and they all kind of like, they're in the same, they all taste different, but they're all kind of chocolate bar with nougat, chocolate bar with caramel, chocolate bar with peanut butter, chocolate bar, they all kind of like, they're in the same ballpark. That's why I classify Butterfinger as my favorite, because it is, once you bite into it, remarkably different. Let me take a bite. Unfortunately, this is one of the candy bars that was not in my Halloween bag this year. I wanted to get it because I wanted to give people Butterfinger. I can't do that. I'll take a little bite because I'm kind of full. Yeah, there we go. So, if you've never tried a Butterfinger, you're missing out. It's very, very different. I don't know what they use in the inside, but Butterfinger is very applicable to how it tastes. Very, very light on the chocolate. It's more about the inside that counts. Again, Butterfinger is remarkably different from all the other candy bars on the list. So that's why I like it, that's why it's my favorite, and that's why it takes the number 2 spot on Mr. Tasty. So number 1, and I'm sure you've probably guessed what it is, because it is the number 1 selling candy bar ever in the United States, the powerhouse of powerhouses. It's been in more commercials than I can remember, and it has been a long-awaited treat for a lot of people, and that is, first and foremost, the granddaddy of them all, Snickers. Snickers is, you have to try to not get Snickers on Halloween. If you're gonna run into Snickers anywhere you go. They recently had a big marketing thing on TV where somebody acts kind of weird and they go, "Steve, eat a Snickers. You're an asshole when you're hungry." And then he eats a Snickers and he turns back to normal.
Mike, what is your deal, man?
Come on, man. You've been riding me all day.
Mike, you're playing like Betty White out there.
That's not what your girlfriend said.
Baby! Eat a Snickers. Better?
Better. That hurt.
You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfied.
So anyways, again, Snickers has been around since the 1930s, so it is an old candy bar of the Mars Company. And they do gross, I think, don't quote me on this, around $2 billion worth of global annual sales. And Snickers, much like the Kit Kat bar, does come in a lot of different varieties. This has been one of the most utilized bars, or candy bars, out there. The reason why I say that is because they have an ice cream brand with this in it. They have an almond one, they have a peanut butter one, they have a king size, they have a half bar, they have the mini bites in it. It's been, Snickers overall has been utilized into more treats than I can think of. So that's why I like Snickers. I don't want to get into it because I'm kind of full and I'm getting like a sugar rush. So you know what Snickers tastes like. So yeah, that's my top 10 favorite candy bars. So this has been Mr. Tasty number 9. I hope you guys enjoyed this countdown. If you have a candy bar that you want to see me review, go ahead and leave that in the description below and I might review it. Again, this list is not comprehensive. It might not be your top 10, but it is definitely my top 10. Let me know what you think. And I think next week I promised to do what I said I was going to do for this video, but it kind of got pushed back because of Halloween. Halloween takes precedent over anything, even Christmas. So again, this is Mr. Tasty number 9. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
You might need a sweater too. I'ma put a ride on ya. Kid from California, trying to make it in life. In school they never taught ya.